an issue in the governing Jamaica Labour Party concerning the relationship between ministers and their state ministers, their junior ministers. As I said yesterday, this is an issue that we've been hearing whispers about for some time, for months now, and it apparently has just been going on and on. And we're also aware that efforts have been made by the leader of the government, the leader of the party, the prime minister of the country, Andrew Holness, Dr. Andrew Holness, to resolve the ongoing issues and tensions between some of the senior ministers and their junior ministers. But apparently the issue in the Ministry of Gender, Sports, Entertainment and Culture, led by the veteran Babsy Grange, that issue is the most troublesome, and it has not been resolved. And it came into the public domain again yesterday when someone, I don't know who, but my telephone number is pretty well known. Yes? And it has been so for the better part of my 40 years in this job, doing this job. We depend on sources. Yes? Sources that give us tips, give us information that we have to then check out first and foremost, verify, yeah, and talk to people to see whether or not there is anything of merit that would, qualify to making it on air. Yeah, 95% of the things I hear can't make it on air. Yeah, those things do not make it on air because of our verification process. Well, this was a WhatsApp message that was sent to the WhatsApp group of JLP parliamentarians, meaning members of parliament and senators. And it dealt with this issue of the tensions between Minister Grange and the State Minister Kerencia Morrison. And essentially what Mr. Warmington wrote, he said it was unbelievable that the government was heading in a direction similar come back. It's 13 minutes after 10 o'clock, let me tell you. We are coming to you from Oasis Imaging Center on Halfway Tree Road, and they have been having some electrical problems here, so we lost the power supply here. That is what caused the interruption in the broadcast. I was at the point where I was discussing with you the WhatsApp message that was leaked from the member for Southwest St. Catherine, the JLP's Everard Warmington, on the issue of the tensions, the ongoing tensions in the Ministry of Gender, Culture, Sports and Entertainment, led by Minister Babsy Grange and her junior minister, Kerencia Morrison. And Mr. Warmington is essentially charging and laying the blame at the feet of the Prime Minister, saying that he has allowed this to fester for far too long without intervening in a decisive way to bring an end to it. Yes? And in my checking of this story, you are told different elements of the story. There's a view that Minister Morrison, the state minister, has been marginalized and sidelined by her senior minister, Babsy Grange, and that she has been given nothing really to do. And they point to the most recent development yesterday with Miss Morrison not being sent in the absence of Minister Grange to represent the ministry and the government of Jamaica, frankly, at the state funeral in Barbados of the cricketing legend Sir Gary Sobers. There's another view that I'm also being told that at the heart of the problem is that Miss Morrison has not been willing, yes, to carry out certain assignments, that she has been given several assignments and has refused to do them, yes, on the basis that she wants to be made better use of. She wants more heavy stuff, meaningful stuff. She's not prepared to carry any minister's handbag, yeah, and according to one source, it's very difficult because you have in Minister Grange and State Minister Morrison two strong women, strong-willed women who are determined to hold their ground. And that is a view we can very well understand. I manage so many people over the last so many years, and managing women requires a different approach. Women, and I'm looking at Sonia Stewart, women can be very, very difficult, yes, when they decide to get at each other. Yeah, you all can call and tell me the truth. When women decide to listen, me nah budge, is a different kettle of fish than when you have two men having differences and you call them in and you say, okay, what is the problem? And they vent. And they vent. Yeah? And you listen and then you say, okay, A, B, C, D, E. And they can move on. Not so with some of the women. They hold grudge, they hold them feelings, them up in them feelings, and then carry belly for each other. Not true? Right? So, Mr. Holness has a problem. He has a problem. Yeah? There's also another view that the Prime Minister, I gather, is of the view that he has to be careful the example and precedence he sets. So a junior minister has a problem with a state minister holding her ground. He decides to move her or transfer her to another place. Then another junior minister with similar issues, yeah, will demand similar treatment. So he has to be careful, I'm being told, that he doesn't set an example that may come back to bite him. Yes? So, Mr. Warmington weighed in, and you know, Mr. Warmington is a man who speaks his mind. He's very blunt. If there's one thing about Everett Warmington, you know what is ticking him off. And he said to the parliamentary caucus of the Labour Party that it is the Prime Minister who must intervene, yes, and settle this thing once and for all. Well, yesterday, after we carried it, we canvassed the opinions of two political commentators who added another perspective. Kevin O'Brien Chang and Mr. I'll tell you his name in a little while, from Jade, Jermaine Barrett, were the two political commentators. And Mr. O'Brien Chang brought an interesting perspective to it. He says, Warmington's message, yeah, is accurate, is needed. According to O'Brien Chang, the Prime Minister is facing a broader leadership challenge of managing succession in his government because several of his frontline ministers are now near if not past retirement. And he has to refresh his government, his administration, sooner rather than later. And there's another problem with that, because how does he manage the refreshing, yeah, so that he doesn't end up with more problems? Because remember now, some people's sense of self and ego, not taking lightly to being told, okay, time come now, time to move on. You have to retire. Yeah? So the Prime Minister, according to Kevin O'Brien Chang, is facing that challenge of how to retire some of his best performing ministers, those who have been in the trenches with him when things were thin and very difficult, like a Babsy Grange. Yeah? And time is upon some of those people. All right, let's go to the break. Time for the national anthem.